Well, today we're going to read a book called Chicks and Salsa. And this book is by Aaron Reynolds and illustrated by Paulette Bogan. And I'm Carmen, and I work at the Extension office. And I think I've met most of you before. And we are really excited to have you at Little Library Chefs. And this is my friend,
Miss Sherry, and I work for Second Harvest Food Bank. And I brought the salsa today. Hey. And
Yes.
I recognize a lot of you, so I brought the salsa today. We're going to talk about what's in the salsa and what part of the plant that it comes from. And then we're also going to I've got some drinks for you. What kind of drinks do you guys like? What's your favorite drink? Lemonade. Ooh, that sounds good. What's your favorite drink? Lemonade? Yeah, that's good. What's yours? Everybody likes lemonade.
Lemonade.
Orange. No lemonade.
So if your salsa is a little bit warmer, guess what? You can cool off with some of Miss Sherry's yummy drinks that we're going to try today. So we've got all different kinds of things for us to do. We've got some fun activities and some fun games. I know you do. But today we're going to start by reading our book, Chicks and Salsa. And this book takes place at a farm. And I brought my chick with me. It's a little bit of a funny chick.
I'll hold the chick.
Okay. He is a funny chick. Yeah, he's a funny chick. He kind of looks like this one, though, don't you think? So there was, let's listen to our story. There was grumbling in the hen house of Nut Thatcher Farm. The chickens were tired of chicken feed. The rooster took it upon himself to solve the problem. So this rooster's thinking, what can we do? Do you guys ever get tired of eating the same food over and over? Well, the chickens did. So they decided to make things a little more interesting. Mrs. Nut Thatcher, the farmer's wife, had started watching cooking shows. The rooster was perched on a fence post outside the farmhouse window when he discovered the solution to his problem. My husband watches cooking shows, and sometimes he makes some really good food. And the solution was, what was this word we learned? Salsa. So, led by the rooster, the chickens crept into the garden. And what was the first thing they found, Miss Sherry? A tomato. And then they uprooted some onions. And we have two different kinds of onions today. Miss Sherry had a purple onion. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, that's different. So if you don't know, if you like purple onion, if you've not tried that before, that might be something to get at the store. Oh, it's so yummy. That night, the chickens ate, what do we like to eat with our salsa? Chips. They ate some chips and salsa and were certain, nobody was quite certain where the chickens got the chips because they didn't get those from the garden. But the tangy, tasty tomatoes and onions hung over the barn roof, and the rooster said, "Olé!" Isn't that a funny word? Olé! Yes. Very soon, there was mumbling at the duck pond. I bet they had heard about the chickens. Inspired by the chickens, the ducks decided that they were tired of fish. With the rooster's encouragement, the ducks dipped into the garden where they selected some cilantro. And Miss Sherry has got some cilantro. Has anybody ever smelled cilantro before? It smells really good. Why don't we pass that around and we can smell it? That's something we sometimes put in our salsa. And it smells really good. That night, the ducks ate guacamole. Oh, and I love some guacamole. Does anybody know what we make guacamole out of?
Avocado.
Yes, an avocado. And the inside of the avocado looks like that. It's not dark on the inside. The spicy scent of garlic and cilantro hung over the barnyard, and the ducks said, what was that funny word that we just said? Olay! Can you guys say that? Olay! Olay! Yes! Oh no, now the pigs! It might be the salsa. It might be. We'll try that and see. The next morning, there was rumbling in the pig pen at Nut Thatcher Farm. Overwhelmed by the enticing aroma, the pigs decided they were tired of eating slop. That's what the pigs eat. So guess what they did? They went into the garden. The rooster distracted Farmer Nut Thatcher, and the pigs plodded into the garden where they borrowed some beans and some chilies. Ooh, they got some peppers. Yes, they did. I don't know. That night, the pigs ate nachos. Oh, does anybody like nachos? I like nachos. We might use these chips, and we put all kinds of yummy stuff on top of those to make nachos. Nobody's really, yes, and nobody's really sure where the pigs got the nacho cheese sauce, but they were delicious. And the cheese and the chilies hung in the barnyard, and the pig said, Ole! Ole! Yes! As everyone knows, when a passion for Southwestern cuisine takes hold of the farm animals and so many scrumptious, spicy, savory scents collide in the barnyard, it can only lead to one thing: a fiesta. Oh, they're going to have a party. The rooster got things organized, then returned to his fence post to watch for a good enchilada recipe. Do you like enchiladas? Enchiladas are a really fun thing to make. If anybody needs a good enchilada recipe, we can pass those out. The horses decorated the barn, and the bull practiced his Mexican hat dance, and he's going to dance around that big sombrero, though nobody was quite certain where the bull got the sombrero. And the chickens and the ducks and the pigs all snuck into the garden, but all of their spicy Southwestern supplies were gone. Oh no. The scallions had been stolen, the peppers had been picked, and the limes had been lifted. And we've got a lime here. We don't grow those in our gardens here typically. But there was slurping in the kitchen of Nut Thatcher Farm. Stirred by the succulent smells in the barnyard, Mrs. Nut Thatcher had decided to make tamales for the county fair. A saucy sweetness hung over the farmhouse kitchen, and Mrs. Nut Thatcher said, Olay! Yes, she did. Disappointed, the animals had to cancel their fiesta. That evening, the chickens ate chicken feed, and the ducks ate fish, and the pigs ate their slop. But while Mrs. Nut Thatcher was at the fair, the rooster crept into the kitchen and borrowed a French cookbook, and the next morning the rooster ate crepes, and those are like a really thin pancake, with white grapes in champagne sauce, though nobody was quite certain where the rooster learned how to read. A satisfied smile stretched over the rooster's beak, and the rooster said, and ooh la la. So this is a fun story about all kinds of yummy foods. And today we're going to learn a little bit more, as Miss Sherry said, about salsa and how we make it.
Yeah, I've got some salsa that's got, I'm going to pick it up and show you what's in there.
So this salsa, yes, has, what does salsa typically have in it? What kind of stuff does salsa have in it typically? What can you think of? It can have spinach. You like corn? Okay, there was corn in there. What else does it have in there? Tomato, very good. What else? Onion, very good. Purple onion, yeah, you are very right. Sometimes you can put avocado in there. Well, and chili peppers, yeah, those are all things that can be in your salsa. So let's talk about what part of the plant we're eating from this. So we got the tomato. What part of the plant do you think the tomato is? And the parts of the plant, I'll give them to you. I'll let you know. You've got roots, stems, leaves, fruit, seeds, and flowers. So those are the different parts of the plant. So we've got tomato in there. What part of the plant do you think the tomato is? Do you think it's a seed or a flower or a fruit? It's a fruit. Very good. So the tomato is the fruit part, is the part of the plant that's the fruit. All right, so we've got corn in there in the salsa. Corn is a vegetable, but what part of we put corn in our salsa, so what part of the corn are we eating? The kernels? Are those roots? Do you think they're seeds? Do you think they're leaves? Seeds, very good. So we're eating the seeds of the plant when we eat the corn kernels. Okay, so we also have onion in there. What part of the plant do you think the onion is? Do you think it's the root? Do you think it's, because onions grow underground, but this is a tricky one. Do you think it's the root? Do you think it's the stem? Do you think it's leaves or flowers? The leaves, not the leaves. Yes, this one's different. This is the stem of the plant.
And when you think about it, if it grows, guess what? The stem comes right up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This part down here would be the roots.
Yep, that's where the roots are. Yes, you got the real thing. All right, we've also got cilantro in there. I put cilantro in there. What part of the plant do we typically eat from the cilantro? The leaves. Very good. All right. You guys are good at this. Now, I didn't put anything that's a flower, but Miss Carmen, can you hold up something that's a flower plant, or a part of the flower that we would eat of the plant? I'm not saying that right. What's that? When we eat broccoli, when we eat broccoli, we eat the flower of the plant. Yep. We don't think of broccoli as a flower, do we? We only think of the flowers as like the pretty flowers with petals. But when we think about broccoli, we're eating the flowering part of the plant. So that's what's in our salsa. So we're gonna. And it's really broccoli. That's right. Well, we're going to get to taste test some salsa, and I'm going to talk to the adults for a minute. We're going to taste test some salsa. We're going to move you over to the table. So if you guys want to come around, we can just the plates, and there's wipes for everybody. And I'll put the salsa over here, and you can have some chips and salsa. You can try this.